Okay, it's gonna work. Ooh, we are live. I need somebody to let me know if they can hear me? Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing
Awesome.
great.
Awesome. Well, I am happy to have you with your backwards outfit. So
Crisscross.
we're here.
Jump. Daddy man can make you. Anyway.
That's so funny. You know what's actually funny is like you don't realize how old you are until people start playing music. And depending on what song people know, you're like, oh yeah. Oh, I remember when I was that. Or for me, like I always talk about what I could put on a cassette tape and write the lyrics. So where was I when I wrote the lyrics to that song? and so anyways, I'm showing my age there a little bit. So
was it before your time when you used to get the tape, put it in the cassette thing? If you're listening to the radio and you're trying to catch that song and you're trying to time it just right to hit record.
Yeah, trying to hit record. Yeah. And then later you're trying to, like my thing was writing the lyrics. And so for me, it was like, and then now in my older age, I never got any Michael Jackson lyrics correct.
Most people don't.
Yeah, spoiler alert, the lyrics you think you know in Michael Jackson's song is not right.
yeah, that is true. That is true.
He has the most like dynamic lyrics, and I'm like, what did he just say? Oh, okay. That's not what I meant, but okay. Exactly. Yeah, so shout out to Michael Jackson, R.I.P. bro.
Whoa, shout out to T-Moo. Shout out to T-Moo.
There it is. Was he your favorite? Is he one of your favorite quarterbacks to ever play?
Absolutely not. But hey, you gotta give my man some respect. Them Houston Oilers.
Respect the legends.
Yeah, you gotta give him respect.
I like
Shout
it.
out Warren Moon.
It.
A lot of y'all youngsters, if you don't know, that's Warren Moon, right? Houston Oilers had to go to Canada because NFL wanted him to play a different position because he didn't look right. He looked like me, so they wouldn't let him play the quarterback position. He didn't look like really. If he had looked like really, he would have been able to play. But
what does that mean?
What?
What do you mean?
Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean nothing. Don't pay no attention to me. Don't pay no
There's something wrong with this dynamic. You know, I will say that Warren Moon was the first. Oh, I don't know if he was the first. He was one of the few, obviously, Black quarterbacks where I was like, hey, what is he doing? Why is he throwing the ball?
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Because I was learning. And so for me, I remember being like, oh, he can throw it. Like not even realizing what that even meant. But so anyway, very interesting call out there. So I'm assuming everybody can hear us. Absolutely nobody has said that they can't. So we're good to go. So it's been a week since our last show. And our last show, one of the things we talked about was the college football playoffs. And I would like to formally give us a standing ovation because for months and months and months, we've been trying to explain to everybody the rules of the top 4 teams to get the bye. We've explained it. We played a video. We broke it down. I made a video. We've been over and over and over and over, and nobody understood it. And nobody understood. However, this week they finally understood. And so this week, let me bring it clear because this is our moment. This week we finally understood what we've been saying about the playoffs and the top 4 teams Doesn't matter what conference, doesn't matter how you feel, doesn't matter what you think. This isn't about your feelings. This is about football. And it finally reared its ugly head so everybody can see it, and it's loud and clear. So I would love to know, first of all, were you surprised when you saw the rankings? Did anything surprise you when you saw the rankings?
No. Nothing surprised me. Um, I think I was talking about it. Yeah, I was talking about somebody else. I think the committee is knocking it out of the ballpark. I think how they setting it up, like where George is at, I think that's perfect because I think how they laid it out. If the teams just win, it takes care of themselves, and the ones that
Mm-hmm.
lose, they're gonna get bounced. I mean, Indiana at looks like Indiana at 5. Indiana at 5, I think is a great spot. They hadn't played anybody. They played a bad schedule, and if they get dog walk, they're close enough to
And
the bottom to get put out.
yeah, Indiana's at 7. Ohio State's at 5. That
One, two,
confused me.
three, four. Indiana's at 5, I think. You sure?
Indiana's at 7.
Who's under Penn State?
Okay, see, so you're doing the thing that I did. If you look at the college football rankings, it has one thing. But then if
Right.
you bounce over and look at the playoffs,
hmm
the way that they have them in the playoffs, they're seated differently.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I'm
so I
just
see what you're saying. So
yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying they're 5, but then in the college playoffs, they would be 7. But I see what you're saying.
yeah. They're close enough to the bottom where if they get dog walk, they can get
They
all the
can,
way out of the playoffs.
right?
So you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
by
yeah.
being undefeated, if they had have been right, if they had have been higher, then they could take a
It's hard to bounce
L
them.
and then they're still in the playoffs, i.e. Miami, right? Miami was high enough where they could absorb a loss
Yep,
and still, and still be ranked high.
I
But
agree.
Indiana's in the perfect spot. They lose, if they drop, 6 or 7 spots, they out, right?
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
12 doesn't guarantee being 12 doesn't guarantee you a playoff berth.
No. 12
Because if
is
a
12 is
right,
scary. I think anywhere between kind of 11 and 12, 13, 14
mhm,
are kind of the makeshifts
right,
of this.
right, exactly. Because what
Yeah.
happens is if you're 12, for those that's listening, if you're 12, what happens is if the highest ranked conference champ is outside of the top 12, it bounces number 12
Mhm.
because they have
Cuz
to
they
get
have to
they
get in.
right.
Mhm.
So they're in the perfect spot, right? So if they get dog walk, they out of there. I think Georgia's perfectly safe at this point. I don't know. I have to see what the SEC standings and how that is, but if they're not playing in the conference championship game, then they're fine. Just keep winning, and they're good. I think it's laid out. I think it's laid out well. I honestly do.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing to me, and I think I could give a shout out to Truck and Tubby on that, is that they addressed uh, Lane Kiffin's concerns about, hey, there's coaches don't want to play in a conference championship game because why? Why take a third loss?
Right.
And I knew they were going to come back
Yeah.
and say, we ain't going to hurt you because you
Right.
can't afford, right? You just cannot afford
That's
for
you can't.
the championship game to be meaningless. Now, these rules don't apply to everybody. It really only applies to 2 conferences, and that's a big thing.
I was just going to say that.
Right.
It's very interesting how, but it's almost like it's almost like when you're in a class and you're teaching and the people you're actually trying to reach don't hear you, but the
Mhm.
people that are doing so well always hear you, and they overanalyze and they think you're talking to them, and you're not. You're talking to this
Yeah.
specific team. You're talking to the Big 10 and the SEC. You're basically telling them, if you guys go there and you lose, don't worry about it. You're safe. However, the rest of you better not lose.
Yeah, you better not lose. You better not lose. Yeah, you better not lose.
Yeah,
You better not
it
lose.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Even that's why, like, moving BYU so far, like, that's also what they're saying to them. Like, don't do this. Don't do
Right.
this. So that's
Exactly.
the other thing. The other thing is, somebody said this, and I don't know if it was on Twitter or something else I was watching. I don't really know. I wish that they would just have the top 12 and top 4 get a bye, and then the rest of the teams got to figure themselves out, and they play each other. I get that. I get why they won't do it, but I still don't like it, because it's the easiest way. Like, I don't like that if you win your championship, you get a bye week, because I think that impacts the other team that loses more than it gives you if you win. If you're already just going to get that, why do we have to play for that if you're just going to get it? So,
welcome to the privileged side of college football. See, if Texas was in the Big 12, like now,
listen,
you would
we don't wanna go back.
absolutely not be saying that. You
we're
would
not
be
going back.
saying-
We're not.
You would
I know.
not be
So
saying that.
the other thing I think it's funny though too is that a lot of people don't think I know that I have like Texas SEC privilege. Like, I think there's a misconception that like I am not very aware that like, that's why, like, this is why Texas wanted to be in the SEC. Like, like, I know we have privileges. That's what we wanted. We did this on purpose so that we can have these privileges. So that's why I don't even get into the conversation. So I'm like, Texas will be taken care of. Y'all can figure it out.
There you go.
So I don't care for 12. I don't really care, like, because, depending on how you look at this and the way you analyze all of this, really 12 might get the better end of the deal depending on how things play out, depending on the matchups and depending on what they look like. So there's a couple of these where it's like, I think it's 5 and is it 8? Like, there's a couple of spots where it's like a sweet spot because you get to play really all the lesser of whatever happens. So I'm a fan.
I mean, honestly, every year during playoff, during this time of year, right? So as a person who roots for a region, uh, I never rooted for a team to get in. I used to always root for the second. Like the team getting in,
the first one's gonna get in. Yeah,
that's good. We got to figure out how to get 2 of them jokers in there.
That's true. Yeah. Whereas it's funny because so can I be honest? I don't even watch this because I'm like, I know, like, we'll take care of itself. Like, I know, like, let's be honest. If Texas wins out, they're gonna be in because of record. But even like, there's just a lot of things. I know what league I'm in. Okay. We fought for this for years. So I'm just going to let it play out. And a lot of people are like, Texas hasn't played anybody. Guess what? Your favorite team hasn't either. So we keep it moving. We're just in a better conference. So don't get mad at me because I have more privilege than you. It's not my problem because all the teams my team played are better than all the teams your team will ever play. So leave me alone. Because I know a lot of teams in this country cannot beat Arkansas. You can say what you want to say, but you can't beat them. You can't. So anyways, I'll get off.
Yeah, you're right. South Carolina would be a conference champs in at least one other conference.
South Carolina would be a conference champ in any conference not named SEC, not named Big Ten. Let's just call it.
Oh, so you think they're better than Miami?
Yeah, they play defense.
Damn. Woo.
They play defense. They play defense. I mean, it just is what it is. So, but the other thing I find also interesting, and then we'll get off of this and talk about something else, is, well, there's 2 things. If Ohio State loses and they become 10-2, somebody else is going to get screwed. So that's just something to keep in. So if you don't want your team to get screwed, start cheering for Ohio State to win this weekend, because if they win this weekend, you're good. But if they lose this weekend, you're in trouble. So start cheering for Ohio State to win this game. The other thing I think is interesting here is who's going where and how much that's going to change. Like, I'm just curious to see, like, if Georgia wins out and if Ole Miss wins out, are they going to flip these? Or like, if, let's say, Alabama goes to the championship game and they lose, are they going to drop to 10 and Ole Miss is going to go up? So like, it's going to be interesting to see like where these SEC teams go, because I'm under the belief, I don't think they're going to make 2 SEC teams play each other in the first go at it. I think they're strategically placing these so that it's not SEC versus SEC in the first round. I think that's another thing that they've talked about, where they're like, listen, like, we already played each other. Don't make us play each other again. But
yeah, Honestly, I would like it to end something similar like this where they have it. I'm good. I'm good with. I don't. Honestly, from the SEC standpoint, I don't care. Just put the four in there. I don't care what the name is. But I would love to see Ohio State play BYU. I would love to see that. That would
But would
that.
we?
Yeah, I want to see that bad. Oh my God, I want to see that bad. I want to be that. See that so
The
bad.
sad thing is I don't even know if I even think Ohio State is good enough to be a second seed. Something about them to me doesn't look good, but that's just my personal opinion. But they would still mollywop BYU. So it's there's this I don't really think they're great, but then I'm yeah, just hand off the ball and let them run right at them. I mean,
Right.
whatever,
Right.
but what do I know? So the other thing we are going to talk about before we get into our games of the week, my Steelers play tonight. Woo! Nobody cares, but I care. Is we're going to rank the NFL's worst teams. And mainly because if you are a college football fan of any capacity and you watch certain guys, these are the guys that we're watching. The guys that are good in college are usually the guys that are going to go 1 through 10, unless we have a weird draft and they do something weird like they did last year, where it's I don't know if they're going to do this, but it's defensive lineman, offensive lineman. You know what I mean? For the record, if I was drafting, that is 100% what I would do. I would trade back my top 10 pick and see if I could get 2 picks. That's what I would do, but I know no one's going to do it. I would not reach for a quarterback. I just wouldn't do it. I just, yeah, because some of these teams need more than just that, and they are going to reach for a quarterback, and they're still going to be bad next year because the team is bad. So quarterback play is bad, but also the rest of the team is too. And so that's what I would do. So just calling that out. But you want me to go through my list and you can agree?
Yeah.
So the team I have at number 10 is the Bears. I think the Bears are the 10th worst team. The reason why I have them at 10, and I did this by the eye test. So by record, I could be off, but I did this by the eye test. The reason why I have the Bears at 10 is because the other teams I have below them don't play as good of a defense. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is the Bears do things stupid that I can remember. The other teams do multiple dumb things that at some point I just turn off the game because I'm like, this is stupid. This is bad football. I don't even want to watch this because this is dumb. At least the Bears, they're kind of in it sometimes. They kind of do things where you think they're going to win and then they do something dumb and they lose. So I have the Bears at my number 10 team.
Okay.
So the next team I have is the Jets, mainly because I think the Jets defense is decent. I think the Jets have weapons. The Jets quarterback play is so bad. It's bad. And I think if you were able to put a quarterback there and shore up some of that offensive line, I think that they are the best of the worst teams. That's the best way I can say that, because they're not good by any stretch of the imagination. None of these teams are good. Let me just make sure I say none of these teams are good, by the way. So I have them. And then the next one, I have the Cowboys. And mainly because I think if the Cowboys had a coach, they would actually be better than what they are. I think their coach is their issue. And I hate the way that organization is ran. And they're a joke. So
you got the Cowboys at 7?
I have the Cowboys at 7.
Okay.
It gets worse. It gets worse.
Okay. All
then
right.
I have the Patriots. Because I have no idea what the Patriots are doing. I have no clue. They look decent, but whatever. Then I have the Giants because I like that Giants defense. I like the Giants defense. I think the Giants defense doesn't get credit for having a very decent front seven. The rest of the team, though, is bad. The rest of the team is bad. And then I have the Browns because they're a dumpster fire. And then I have the Raiders because they're a dumpster fire. And then I have the Panthers, dumpster fire, Jacksonville because they quit. And the Titans are the worst team for me to watch play NFL football. They're so bad to me.
Where was your Giants again?
I have the Giants at 5.
Okay. I wonder, does the Giants fan understand now that Daniel Jones is not good? I'm never getting off of that. I will never get off of that.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, if I see a Giants fan in the chat, I will ask them if they think that their team is good. But right now, so yeah, and that's the thing. Like the Titans in Jacksonville, I have actually physically watched them stop tackling in games. Like I've watched them just let guys walk in the end zone. If you're a team that's going to let a guy walk into the end zone multiple times, you're not good. I don't care. You're not good. You're just not good. And then the Panthers, whatever. The Browns, whatever. The Giants, yeah. But these teams are bad. So I just want to reiterate, I don't think any of them are good. So let me just make sure I say that just because you are not last doesn't mean you're not good.
Right.
So anyways, what do
Can
you
I
think?
give you my 10? Can I give you my 10?
Yeah, let me
I'm
hear
just
it.
gonna roll through them. I'm just gonna roll through them real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna go from the worst, right? I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Carolina.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go Cleveland.
Okay.
I'm going to go Tennessee. I'm gonna go Raiders. Giants. Giants. Jets. Jacksonville. It's gonna sound crazy what I'm about to say. It's gonna sound crazy what I'm about to say. I get it, right? But I said Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Jacksonville, New England, Tampa Bay.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Tampa
So they're
Bay,
9.
and then it's really a coin flip now. I'm- Rams.
Ooh, really? I like. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. See, I don't think that. Okay, I don't think I am not a Cowboy fan. I don't
Me
think
either.
Dallas is as bad as they look. They've had so many injuries. I mean, if we're gonna count the injuries, they got bad coaching. I think they didn't let go of the rope too. I just don't think they're that bad. I don't think they're as bad as their records say they are. It takes some
I
convincing to me.
Yeah, I could. Well, yeah. My issue though with them is that I feel like every year it's the same issue.
Yeah, but they win 13 games. I mean, usually they win like 13 games.
Yeah. Now, if we're going on like organizational wise, my answer would probably be the same minus the Patriots, minus Cowboys. Throw me in some other teams because like historically the Patriots have been a great
Right.
program.
I
And
did
the
mention
truth is,
Cleveland, right? I did say
you
Cleveland,
did,
correct?
you
Yeah, okay,
did.
okay.
Cleveland was your second worst, but we
Yeah,
agreed on the Giants.
right. We did. Now the see with the Cowboys, you're right. I mean, what they put on the field, if we just you are what Bill Parr says, you are what your record say you are. But see, the the ownership group, and I know a lot of people don't get into this because they don't really watch it like this. He signed Dak and CD so late he killed his cap space, so he couldn't make no moves. If he had just signed him when he's supposed to sign him earlier,
Yeah,
as
in
a
the
matter
summer.
of fact, he killed himself when he didn't give Dak the first contract re-up at the time he should have got the first contract re-up. He the one who shot the organization in the foot. He killed all cap space, and he ended up having to pay him more money. I don't want to get on my soapbox, but and you
But
watch a lot. You
yeah,
watch a
it's
lot of
bad
NFL.
management.
It's bad. It's just
It's
bad.
bad.
He killed it. Now a person could argue, say, well, rawhide, bro. That's part of it. And you're right, cap management. But they made so many bad business decisions where they just handicapped themselves. And then you couple that with the injuries. I don't know. I know it's not like I'm trying to defend them. I think it's more administration than it is how bad they truly are.
So, but I think that leads to the question though, is how much do you associate a bad organization to their team? How do you separate the two?
Yeah.
Because to
Yeah.
me, if you've made bad, for example, if I'm making this up, if the Green Bay Packers did something that's dumb as hell and it impacts their team, we're going to say they're a bad team. I don't
Yeah, you're
like
right.
do
No, you're
then
right.
you add the footnote and be like,
You're right.
yeah, but
You're
it
right.
was management's fault. Like, how do
Yeah.
you differentiate if it's bad team or bad leadership? Because quite frankly, almost everybody on this list probably has bad program. Like the Giants are a joke. The Browns are a joke. The Panthers are a joke.
Yeah. No,
That's
I mean, that
call
point,
it.
you're right. You're right with that point. I guess I'm just kind of looking at it like with quarterbacks. Sometimes I think quarterbacks are overly critiqued because of the situation they're in. So I give the
Giving
quarterback
them
a
a
little
little
more
bit of
grace.
slack for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, but
yeah,
I mean, overall, you're right. I mean, you're
yeah.
right.
That's
You're
fine.
right.
What'd you say? Well, what was that you just said? I was what?
I'm just pandering a little bit. No, no, you're right. No, seriously. You are right. No, you're right.
I
No.
love that. And then the other thing, so who do you think is worse, Tampa Bay or the Rams?
Rams. Did I call it that way? I think I called it that way.
Yeah. Do you think it's because they're just not talented? Or do you think it's an organizational issue?
It's time to hit the restart.
It's time for a
Yeah.
rebuild. Yeah, I agree. It just doesn't look good. Nothing looks good.
No.
Yeah,
They should trade Cooper Kupp. They should go get them another quarterback. They need to make those moves. As a matter of fact, if I was Dallas Cowboy ownership, Michael Parsons, I'm trading you, bro. You got to go. Because for all world you supposed to be, you never get in the playoff. You fold like wet tissue. Can't stop the run. They run right at you. I don't even know what position you play. What position does he play?
I don't know.
Is he a defensive end? Is he a off ball linebacker? What is he?
Yeah, that's not my team. So I try, you know how I am. I try to stay out of team affairs when it's not my team. But I agree with you because
Yeah.
I think you can get more for him if you let him.
There
But
you go.
they're not. So
No, he's not.
so
And don't get me wrong. Well, I said it in a manner because I know people don't really understand. I said it in the manner. I know y'all probably think I'm saying that he's not good. No, he's one of the best defenders in all of the NFL.
100%.
He is. But he ain't okay. He makes impacts, but he doesn't make TJ Watt impact. He doesn't
Right.
make that. Like he can get to the quarterback, but he seems to be so one dimensional.
I think that yeah. My opinion, but see again, Dan Quinn got the best out of Parsons. And I don't know if it's scheme. I don't know. I don't know. Or if it's him. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. At the beginning of the season, I called Dallas soft. You remember when I was like, I think they're
Yeah,
soft.
they are soft. And he
I
plays
think they're a
soft.
bunch of prima donnas. I think they're
Yes.
soft. Like I
Soft.
think they're soft, and I don't think they
Right.
work hard. And I think that they
Right.
think that they're better. I think that they carry a certain swag that they don't have. And they're just a team that, I mean, the truth is everyone's really laughing at you. I mean, so until they realize that, I don't know what's going on. I mean, and I don't want them to be good ever because I'm not a Cowboys fan, but like you let Derrick Henry walk. You really didn't think Derrick Henry could fit on your football team. I don't get that.
The money was tight.
Make it work.
Yeah, okay. Well, you got a point.
You know
I mean,
what I'm saying? Like
you got a point.
restructure somebody. Like
Yeah, you got
and
a
then
point.
you've let the offensive line get old. It's just not they're just not. I'm not acting like I could like run an NFL organization right now, but if it was my job, I would be better at it than they are.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. I just sometimes look when they crown these players, and I don't care what sport it is. There's a level of expectation that I have from them, and my biggest thing is you get ran through and then get on the mic and say, "Well, anybody could get ran over. They catch you like that. They need to quit letting you block like that." Chippy, what you talking about? Not Chip.
Terrible.
Get out of here with that, bro.
Yeah.
Talk about something from
And
the previous season.
Yeah, Penn State original.
Yeah, bro, he be getting on my nerves. Sometimes he get on my nerves. He do a whole lot of talking. I'm like, bro, y'all a liability on defense. How do you talk so much and your defense is sucky?
I
I
have
don't
no
know how
clue.
you do that. How do you do that?
It's what I always
I
say.
don't get it, bro.
These people are different these days.
They
Because
are different, man.
if I was playing like that, I'd be like, show canceled this week. We'll be back next
Yeah,
week.
I know, right? I was like, bro, San
Did you see
Francisco
how I
almost,
just played? Like, I need to go watch film.
bro. I'm right there with
I don't
man.
know.
How many did San Francisco put on them in the playoffs? Did they hang damn near 40 on them? I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Oh, last year that was Green Bay.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. But at the same time, like again, until Jerry Jones realizes that his roster management skills suck, I can't help it. Somebody just said Bryce Underwood flipped to Michigan. And if that is true, shout out to Michigan. Because that's huge. Is that real?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I have a bet going that he was going to flip. So if it's true, I
Well,
need to
okay, but
know.
where was he before though?
LSU.
Hmm.
He had committed to LSU.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I love it. Yes. Looks like it's true. I am on Twitter. Hey, just letting y'all know, when you live on Earth 1, when people say stuff, you check it.
Where when is signing day? You know when signing day is?
Signing day is the 4th through the 6th, I believe.
December?
Yeah.
Early signing day? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have another good signing day show.
We'll just call it the crash out.
I'll just leave it. We can leave it right there. We'll leave
Actually,
it right there.
can you just call it crash out signing day show?
That's crazy, man.
If you do that, I will promise to at least come on at some point and be like,
Yeah, man. Yeah. Classic. It's classic. I know, man.
oh my
That's crazy,
goodness.
man.
Anyways, well, let's get into these games. So we're doing, oh my gosh, a signing day. You have to call it signing day crash out for sure.
Yeah, that's insane.
Do you remember last year if you did it the first day or the final day?
No, it was the late signing period. It was that one. It was
I know, but was it like, because it's usually like 2 days or 3 days. Was it the very first day of it? Do you remember?
I think it was. I think it
Oh
may
yeah,
have
those
been.
are better. Those are better. Like everybody's panicking. Nobody trusts the process. Like, no,
Oh,
he
man, it's crazy,
he
man.
didn't send us the paperwork. And you're like, oh, here we go. Anyways, so we are going to do playoff implications. Just so we know, I don't think I said it yet, but next week we're not going to have a live at this time slot because it is actually Thanksgiving. So if you celebrate Thanksgiving, that is why. And so yeah, so we're not going to do the show. I might go live sometime next week without you and just go myself and be like, ask me anything. Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I did?
It absolutely will be without me because I will not be here.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about playoff implications. So the way that we're going to structure this is we're going to look at not only the game that's happening this week, but it could potentially also be because of a game that's happening next week. So as you all hopefully know by now, the NFL, this is week 12 of the NFL, I believe. And so a lot of playoff spots are kind of already assigned. I believe the AFC is pretty much solidified. I feel like people are playing for, like, obviously seeding and then maybe the 7th seed. And then the NFC has an interesting thing going on because of probably maybe some of the teams and games that we'll talk about. So that's how we're deciding this. Also, my Steelers come on tonight, so we will end this on time because I got things I got to do, okay? I got to get my notepad ready. I got to get ready to see if the Steelers team that knows how to tackle is going to show up or the other Steelers team is going to show up. So I will be dialed into that. So do you want to start, Rawhide, with who you got?
Yeah, I'll start off. I'll start off, and I guess I will begin with excuse me, Ravens Chargers. Yeah, I'm taking that. Monday Night Football. We got the Ravens 7-4, Chargers 7-3. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh. Hell of a coach. Hell of
Facts.
a coach. And I knew he was going to turn that team around. Which it wasn't a difficult turnaround. I mean, he kind of got there on third. You know, what I'm saying he got there. There was already on second and third base. But I think it's more relevant for the Ravens. I think it's a must win for the Ravens. I don't think the Ravens can afford to drop another game. 7-5. You know, now you know what I'm saying, it's a 17 game season now. So that puts them kind of in the crack. They should be safe, but I don't think you need to be sweating it like that. Unless
Don't you dare.
well, I don't okay. But I'm just
Don't
saying,
you even.
I'm just saying they could be maneuvering for a particular spot. I don't know. But
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say something else. You know what I
no.
think. I thought, okay. I'm like, don't
No,
leave it alone.
I'm just simply talking about maneuvering for a particular spot. So,
Right.
because you know me, I strongly believe that the Ravens can win the Super Bowl if they don't have to play Kansas City.
Until the AFC
No,
championship game.
if they don't have to play them at all.
Because you know what? You're right. Because if you're thinking if somebody else beats them, they can beat everybody else.
Right. If you're the Ravens, your perfect thing is it doesn't matter. You want the Bills have done such a good job and they only have dropped 2 games, but I think the Bills are gonna lose some more. But if you can just manage it where the Bills have to play Kansas City before you do, that's the point.
You know what's gonna happen? Like, because this is how it goes. The Steelers are gonna get in and they'll do something stupid and they'll defeat the Chiefs and then they'll play the Ravens and then they'll lose or something stupid. Something enough to where I will collectively lose my crap. You know what I mean? It'll be like this weird thing, or like the Steelers will have, you know what I mean? Like they'll have beat whatever and they beat everybody and nobody thinks they can do anything. And then they'll go to the AFC championship and everybody takes the Steelers and the Steelers will lose to the Ravens. And I'll be like,
right. Yeah. And you know the NFL. The problem with the NFL is they reseed after the first round. So
yeah, right.
You know what I mean. So it's not like a bracket, but yeah, it's unfortunate they lost 4 games. That makes it extremely difficult. But if they could just do whatever they can to try to get around Kansas City, they'd be perfectly fine. I don't worry about the Steelers as much as other people do. As far as the Ravens go, but that Kansas City they can't beat Kansas City. Lamar just can't beat him to save his life. I mean, the game that he won, I don't even know if people watched that game. The game that they won, the only reason they won it because Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumbled Odafe Oweh, snatched the fumble out at the end of the game. If he didn't get that, they would have lost the game.
Is that the one where they asked Lamar if he wanted to go for it on like 4th down and they iced the game that way? Was that like on a Thursday opening day or something? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was.
I don't know. It was a national televised game at night though.
Yeah, it was a night game. I think it was like the first game of the season on a Thursday night. I feel like it was. I could be wrong there. Yeah, I actually agree with that. The other thing too about the Ravens is next week they play the Eagles, and you know, like, listen, I always say this. I don't cheer against Lamar. I don't hope he does bad, but I don't cheer for the Ravens. So I have like this weird thing, you know, so it's like, I hope he's fine and, you know, whatever. And they keep forgetting they have Derrick Henry because that would be fantastic.
Right. Right. I mean, if you think about it, they got the Chargers and they got Philly, them 2 losable games, and they got Pitt again, which they could lose. That's 7 games lost if they lost those 3.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it that way. That's true. It's a good point. Yeah. So, and that's what everyone's like, yeah, the Steelers haven't played anybody in the AFC North. I'm like, you realize, to be fair, I'm not saying we're going to do this, but to be fair, we played the Browns twice and the Bengals twice. I would like to have, I like that those are 4 of the games we have left to play, as opposed to it being, you know, like, I don't know, the Chargers or the Broncos who have decided to kind of wake up and do whatever they're doing. So anyways, that's just what I think. So I am going to go 49ers because I'm going to go. So the 49ers are 5-5. And so this week they play the Packers, and they are last in their division right now. So they have to beat the Packers. I don't know if they can. But the other thing for the 49ers is next week they play the Bills. So I've said this before on the show that the 49ers, I think, are overrated, and I think they have a quarterback problem, and I think they have a coaching problem that we don't want to call out yet and we don't want to identify yet because they're supposed to be good and we're not ready to go there yet. But if they lose to Green Bay and they lose to the Bills, they will be 5-7. I don't know a good football team that is 5-7. So I am going to be paying attention to the 49ers these next couple of weeks. This week specifically, because I quite frankly thought the Packers should have beaten them last year in the playoffs. And although Jordan Love sometimes forgets what team he's playing for, based off what I've seen of the 49ers, I can't trust them. So I don't know what they're going to do. And then obviously then you have the Bills. So, and the Bills, I believe they have to go play the Bills, which is also another issue because I also think they have to go play the Packers. So I could be wrong on that, but I think they're both away games. So I'm saying all that to say the 49ers have two really very important, challenging games coming up that they have to win. I don't think they can. I don't know if they can get in the playoffs if they lose these two games. I could be wrong, but I don't know if they can do it. So,
well, I agree. I mean, I agree with your take on San Francisco for the most part, except for the fact that I'm going to step out there on a limb and say 49ers won't lose another game.
I like it.
Now, obviously, that's a stretch, but
yeah.
Kittle,
the reason why they've
coming
been
back.
losing is the issue, though, is they keep giving up leads.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and they've had some injuries too. Kittle, he said he's going to play against the Packers. So,
I'm not here to bash the 49ers. Yep, go George Kittle. Woo!
You don't like Kittle? You don't like Kittle? Oh, I know why you don't like
It's
Kittle.
not Kittle. I think there's a bigger issue with the 49ers, and we were putting Band-Aids on it.
Yeah. I know what you. I know you don't like him.
Why don't I like George Kittle? I'm actually pissed at the 49ers, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta find that white excellence T-shirt.
Oh hell, shut up. No, it's not that. I think the 49ers have a bigger issue. And I said, I feel like everything they do, we put a Band-Aid on it. And we're like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. And it's like, all right.
Yep, we do, because I just did that. I absolutely just did that for 49ers.
You're right. And can I say something? What you're saying is true, and that's what Kyle Shanahan is getting. That's my frustration. It's not Kittle. It's that if Shanahan was a black coach, they would be letting him have it right now for underachieving, but they're not going to do that. And I have a problem with that. And then every game I watch you're actually getting worse. You're getting worse, but nobody wants to call it because he's royalty. He's got a Shanahan name. They're going to be, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just kind of like, all right, guys. All right.
I thought you didn't like Kittle because he was doing them.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
That's a new dance now. You don't know the
that
dance
is so corny. That is so
you don't
corny.
Like that dance?
No, it's so corny. It's so corny. And anybody that thinks that's cute, I think they're corny too.
You don't like the dance?
No. And I didn't even know that the best thing about that didn't even come across my feed. So I didn't even see it. I didn't even know it was a thing. So there's that. I'll just leave it where it's at. But I'm just telling you, if if that was any other coach, they would be, every show would be talking about him. But the 49ers, they get a pass, they're going to get a Band-Aid. They'll get the guys are hurt. The Super Bowl hangover, they'll give them every excuse that they can find because they're the San Francisco 49ers. So I will get off that soapbox. But you better be right. They better hope they don't lose another game because they've already lost 5. And that's not great.
I think that's just lovely to me. It's just lovely to me. Okay, next game.
Your game.
Cardinals and Seahawks.
Ooh, good one.
Do people know? Do they know that Kyler Murray is a MVP candidate? A real MVP
He's playing well.
candidate? He is sneakily playing extremely well.
Yeah,
right.
He is.
So, and 6-4, Seahawks 5-5.
Who told you 5 weeks ago about those Arizona Cardinals? All they need is a pass rush. I just don't know if they can beat a good team. I'll be honest.
Chef Jerome.
Can I at least get a solid gold? Can I get a solid gold?
That's my new dance from now on. I'm all in.
You should do it. It fits you.
I'm all in.
Good for you. It fits you.
You know what I'm saying? I would wear that. I would wear that hat, but we kind of clash a little bit. I just don't really.
I will be honest and say though, that 47 hat is pretty fly. Have you seen the 47 hat?
Mm-mm.
The 47 hat's pretty fly. Like I would never, ever, and anybody that wears it, I'm like, but it's pretty fly. So
they need to make a white one. They make a white one, I wear it.
There is a white one. It has the 4 and the 7 on either side of the stitch.
But then there we go. Then
it's pretty fly. Yeah, I was like, that's cute. I like that.
Wait, yeah, but man, the Cardinals. I'm surprised by it, man. Kyler Murray showing up, playing extremely well. I think under the radar, not a lot of people paying attention to him. So, man, shout out to the Arizona Cardinals and the Seahawks, man. They got, their quarterback. He's not gonna. He's mid. He's average, but he's playing well, right? And I know people don't like that word mid average, but I think
There's
in this sense of the word, right. In this sense of the word, I think it's good, right? So, shout out to Geno Smith.
The Cardinals have beat the Chargers.
Yeah,
so they have the Seahawks, the Vikings, the Seahawks again, the Patriots, the Panthers, the Rams, and the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, shout out, hey, Arizona, man. I don't even think a lot of people thought that Arizona would be even a playoff contender this year.
I agree. I didn't. So they're, like I said, and they're gonna be like. I hope they're not one of those teams that like makes it and like the first game like gets annihilated. I hope that's not their story, but it might be because they just don't have a pass rush. But stranger things have happened. Matchups matter.
There you go.
So yeah.
So that's my game. That's my game number 2.
Okay. I have mixed feelings. You know what? I'm gonna go Lions Colts. For a weird reason. And I want to look this up to make sure I haven't lost my mind. But so in the AFC period, the Colts are, what is their record? Let me make sure I don't screw this up. The Colts are 5-6. And somebody has to get the 7th seed in the AFC. And right now it's like the Colts, but they're 5-6. And then I believe like Denver is like 6 and whatever. Everybody else has a winning record except for the Colts. But the Colts have the Lions, and then they play the Patriots next week. And then, so I'm just kind of curious to see how this playoff contention is going to work for the Colts. If the Colts are able to win, then it will impact them. And then because they play the Lions, if the Lions lose, that's going to open the door for the Vikings and the Vikings. Who I just lost. Oh, and Green Bay. So it's almost like both teams need to win this to stay on track to where they're trying to go. And so I like games like this because it's one of those games where like if you look at the Colts and you're like, yeah, but they're 5 and whatever, they're 5-6, they've lost more games than they won. Like, why is this interesting? It's because at this point in the season you have to stack wins. And if they stack wins, For them to win means the Lions would have a loss, and then that makes things interesting also for the NFC. So I like kind of where this game plays. I don't know if it will be. And then obviously Anthony Richardson kind of got himself back together, is, acting like a grown man now and making good decisions. I'm a fan of that. I support that. And so I'm just very interested to see like where this Colts team goes. Are they getting better now that they have their starting guy back? Was it a fluke? Like, where are they? So I'm very interested in this Lions and Colts games because I think the Lions will benefit the most from having home field advantage in the NFC, I think. I think if they would have had San Francisco last year in Detroit, I think they beat them. I think that crowd does something for them. And so anyway, so if I was the Lions, I would want that number 1 seed like nobody's business.
Well, they had them beat last year. Then
that's what I'm saying.
Lost his mind.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the guy dropped the ball. To be fair, it hit him in both of his hands.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Like, catch it.
All right, you're right. You're right.
Anyways, now I feel like I've said catch it a lot lately. Like with the Steelers, I've said with Texas, catch the ball. If it hits you with both of your hands in your face mask, you have to catch it. You have to catch the ball, guys.
Yep. No, you're right.
Anyways, that's my second game. I'm going Colts and Lions. And then the other thing I know too is the Lions still have Green Bay, the Bills, and I believe the 49ers on their schedule. So this is kind of, I don't want to say this is a gimme, but this win I think is it's important for them to get. I'll just say
that. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
That just food for thought. Those that's listening to us. The NFC West, Arizona 6-4, Rams 5-5, Seattle 5-5. San Francisco 5-5.
Yep.
So everybody's one game. I mean, everybody's together, and the leader is just one game ahead. Isn't that something? That's close.
Yeah.
That's
and
extremely close.
If you put them all together, they make a great football team.
Yeah.
But right. Individually, it's like I can tell you what each one needs to be better, but it's like. Yeah, it's like, give me Kyler Murray on Seattle's defense and the Rams receivers with some of San Francisco's players struggling. It's like I need a little bit of everything from every team because they're just, there's there. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. My third game is not. I think you mentioned them.
Did I?
You didn't say nothing about the Bears, did you? You say
nope.
About the Bears? Yeah. Third game, Vikings and the Bears. Now, it's nothing big on that. I just feel like doing my dance to it.
That's about right. That's about as seasoned as that game is.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I tried to tell people at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I had that all wrong. Frickin' Chicago Bears suck. You guys suck.
Yeah, I told you, bro. Y'all was gonna be sorry, but you were listening. But that's okay. But I did not know. Full disclosure, had no earthly idea that Sam Darnold would be playing the way he's playing. I don't.
Fair.
Did
anybody think that though?
No, absolutely nobody. But I don't even hear. I don't think Sam Darnold gets enough. He's not getting even enough accolades for what he's doing. Now, granted, he got the number one wide receiver in the NFL on his team. Granted, but man, he is just playing. I'm so happy for him because the dude went through stuff that I don't think it was his fault, and to see him succeed, man, I'm happy to see that. So. I'm so happy for Minnesota. There's absolutely no way that I could live in Minnesota or anything like that.
Or think about it.
No, yeah. I was in Minnesota in May and it was snowing. That is just insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So where has he been where are the teams that he has been to?
Sam Darnold, he played for he went
Because
to the Jets.
why I'm asking is because where he was at, I don't think that they've gotten good since he hasn't been there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Jets, Carolina, San Francisco for 1 year, then Minnesota.
Jets, Carolina. Bless his heart.
Yeah, he been through it. He been through it, man. He has been through it.
Bless his
Oh my, that's a gauntlet of bad.
I had to rehear that for a second.
Yeah,
This
that's
was
crazy,
like,
man.
wait, what?
Yeah.
So you know what? Then he served his time.
Say what?
He served his time.
He served his
his
time, man.
time.
That
He
dude did
served his
penitentiary
time.
time for the NFL. Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
he served his time. You know what? I might be a Vikings fan.
Yeah,
Wow, I didn't realize it had been that bad.
it's bad, man. It's bad. And and he
Wow.
was with the Jets before they even got any. He was with the Jets before they even got what they got now. So he went
Wow.
through it, and he was extremely
Wow.
young when he got into the league. So you
High law. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
oh my God, you crazy, bro. This dude is insane. I tell you, Law, you crazy, bro. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what that means, man. You crazy, bro. You crazy.
I am not even. I'm just gonna play my
Yeah,
thinking
you
video.
just let that roll. Let that roll right on by. Don't even. No, just let
So
that
I
go.
really should start reading these like before I display them.
Yeah, let that go. Let that go. Let that go.
Let me play.
Yeah, let that go. Yeah, let that go. He's insane.
Ooh,
But whoa, that was different.
Wasn't it cute?
Hey, hold on. Play it one more time. Play it one more time.
I can't play it unless there's a super chat.
Oh, man, I was like, I ain't seen that one. You didn't even show up before the show. You do a test run.
I do. Yeah, I do. Usually I'm like, okay, does this look good? Can you see this?
Yeah, you need. Yeah, hey, from now on, do test runs. Make sure you do a test run. Yeah, you need to do test runs from now on. Okay, you need to get my thoughts and opinions before you play the thing. So next time, yeah, you do a test run. Give me the test run. Let me help you here. So, you know what I'm saying? Let me help you out a little bit. Hey, what's his number? Hey, I ain't talked to him last time. Give me that number. What's his number? Let me call him right now. Yeah, what we doing? What we doing, man? What are we doing? What we doing, man? God.
Oh god, that's hilarious. Look, this is what you call a friend. This is somebody that has your back. You know what I mean? One thing is for sure, he has your back. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm watching this. I'm paying attention this time. Girl, you so crazy. You so crazy. You are so crazy. Yeah. We gonna have to. Yeah, we gonna have to have a little talk.
Life is way too hard to not enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna have to have a little talk. Hey, we gonna have to have a little talk. I'm just saying.
The God that I praise to is like, yes, ma'am. So I'm like, yes.
Yeah. We're gonna have to have a little talk. Yeah. I'm like, Mr. Flaws, what we doing, man? What we doing, man?
Oh my gosh. I could not. I can't.
Crazy,
so
yeah,
I have three options. Options. You want the front, the back? Which one? I'm
tapping. I'm tapping out. I'm good. I'm tapping out.
So I don't even know which game you picked at this point because I forgot. Who did you do? Who was your last game?
Minnesota. I just did Minnesota and the Bears.
Right.
That y'all thought was going to be good. Don't know why.
Shut up. Well, you know what? We tried. We tried hard. I had really high hopes and they let me down. So they no longer have my support over them.
I got you.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. You know this. I have a couple of options here, and I'm gonna talk myself through options because all of my options impact the teams that I watch. So I don't want to talk about the Steelers on here because I'm about to watch them. So I will leave them where they're at. I'm going to go with BYU and Arizona State. And the reason I'm going to go with BYU and Arizona State is for obvious reasons. The committee has shown us that they don't think the Big 12 is good. And BYU has to win this game. Because if they don't, yes, BYU has to win this game. And I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know whatever. I do think Arizona State is a good team. Would I be shocked if Arizona State beat them? Absolutely not. But I think the playoff implications for BYU beating them concerns me. So I need BYU to win this game. However, I kind of like chaos. so if they don't, then it's also like, I don't know what to call it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. It just, it is what it is. But I think that is going to probably end up being like the most chaotic situation. Obviously, there's the Texas and Texas A&M game. And if Texas loses Texas A&M, terrible and all those things. But I don't see as much drama as I do surrounding that it does with the Big 12, because the committee has already told us that they don't think the Big 12 is living up to any standard that they should be. And that is more of a concern for me than anything. And so, you know this, and I'll be honest and say, I didn't know if they had the courage to do what they did on Tuesday. I saw it coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it was a possibility, because I think the committee, and they've said this in a lot of ways, they're paying attention to the teams that these teams have lost to more than I think I thought they would. And when you do that, it's scary because they're basically saying, BYU, you are on a string. And if you lose, you're basically holding the Big 12 banner right now. You're holding it and if you lose it, I don't know if they can get it back. I'm concerned. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I agree with you. I think it's a big game. I know when we talk, people only hear certain teams, but I've been trying to inform people about Arizona State. I told y'all, Arizona. I said, bro, Arizona State gonna be better than Arizona, man. I'm telling y'all right now, Arizona State's gonna be better than Arizona.
Yeah.
Bro. So it is what it is. But anyway, back to your point.
Do the dance. It fits. Do the dance.
Yeah.
And that's about the same way that people listen to him is the same way they listen to his song. So it's kind of the same.
I try to put you on game. People don't even want to hear it. But anyway.
Yeah.
First thing, your point about the Big 12. What has killed the Big 12 is Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Because Oklahoma State did not hold up their end of the bargain.
I agree.
End of the bargain. That murdered the. Can I say that word on YouTube? I don't know.
Probably not.
That undead. I'm sorry, unalived.
Unalived.
Yeah, unalived. The Big 12, right? So, because what happens is that the Big 12 lacked name brand, and the two teams that really could carry the banner, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and to me personally, to a lesser extent, Utah, Oklahoma State didn't show up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, if Utah and Arizona State, in Utah or Oklahoma State was 8-2, they would be in the top 12, easy and solidified. But because they're not, the Big 12 has just got unalived as far as from the perspective of the committee. So
the football prowess is
it's just and as far as the ACC is really just as bad well, maybe not just as bad, but they're a bad conference too. But because they got Clemson, they got Miami. Florida State didn't hold up their end of the bargain, but they still there.
Yeah.
So it adds relevance and substance to the conference. So the ACC will, at this point, they're not going to look like the Big 12. You can't have BYU, Arizona State carrying your banner for a Power Four conference. You just can't have that, and thus you see what's happening. So yeah, I agree. BYU needs to win. Arizona State, right? Man, I think this season has already been a success. Whether they win, I think they can't lose at this point. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I know they want to go to the playoffs, but they in a no-lose situation. So, yeah, I agree
What,
wholeheartedly with you.
what time
As a
is
matter
that?
of fact, they let me tell you, the Big 12 better be lucky. They are extremely, and when I say they are extremely lucky, because if uh, you got Boise, right? You got Boise State doing what they did. If Let me just think of somebody. If let's say, I guess I could say Memphis. Let's take Memphis for instance. If Memphis had have been rolling undefeated team, Big 12, you would not have a representative in the college football playoffs this year. They are extremely lucky, extremely,
What
because
do you
they
think?
would knock them out.
What do you think they do with Army if Army beats Notre Dame?
Oh, I personally believe. Oh my God, I had this. This was the conversation.
Mm,
If Army beats Notre Dame,
mm-hmm.
I think what happens is they still. I think they still can get in, but I don't think they'll get. I don't think they'll get the auto.
Or you think they'll be like a 12?
Yeah, I think they can get in,
But
but they can't. They
yeah,
won't get an
the,
auto
the
because I
two,
think they're going to save the pack. So the pack they're hoping that the pack conference champ is a two-loss team.
yeah.
So if they're a two-loss team, you can justify it. So they'll get that. I think they'll get the bid. But I think what end up happening is that Army will probably get an at large at that point.
I the one thing I know for sure is if you are on the outside looking in, you it's tricky because you don't want you won't you it's like you want certain teams to lose. You know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
you want Indiana to lose. You want whoever's 12 to win or lose depending on like who your team is that you're trying to get in. But it's like selective teams you're trying to pluck them off because some of
Mhm.
these other, like for example, I think Georgia plays like nobody this week and nobody next week. They play like Georgia Tech and I don't know, UTSA or you know what I mean? Like some of these
Mhm.
teams are playing nobodies. And obviously if they lose, great. I just don't know if that's going to happen. So that's kind of like not something you want to hedge your bets on. But if you're watching this and if you're honestly listening to us and you're like, who should I even cheer for? Right? Like what can I want? If you're in the Big 12, you are cheering for BYU hard. You need BYU to win and you need BYU to go to the Big 12 championship game as a
Mhm.
one-loss team
Mhm.
because that means a lot if they can
Mhm.
go in there as a one-loss team. You do not want them in there as a two-loss team because a two-loss team is now competing with an SEC two-loss team or potentially,
Mhm.
depending on what Ohio State does, a Big 10 two-loss team. You
Mhm.
don't want to compete with that. You don't.
Right.
You're going to lose every time.
Right.
So cheer for BYU. But then the other thing is, too, you need to cheer for Ohio State to beat Indiana
Mhm.
because they're looking for ways to get rid
To
of
get the
Indiana. Like
Indiana out of there. Yeah, you're
we
right.
we all know
Mhm.
Indiana's strength of schedule because they're looking for ways to get them out of there. Like, that's
Yeah.
the only reason
Yeah.
why this
You
is
no.
happening.
You
So,
you right.
you know,
You
but
right.
that's how I see it. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if an SEC team loses, great, they lose. I'm not going to say it's not a great thing, but I just think they're kind of telling you who they want in and who they want out. Those teams just have to do their job to be out so that
Mhm.
your team can come in. I will be honest and say though, I think SMU The only way they're in is they have to win the ACC championship. I don't think SMU stands a chance if they don't win the SEC or the ACC championship. I don't think they're going to do that. I could be wrong there because I haven't seen these teams play in a while, but I don't know if SMU has a chance. I don't know. I don't see it. I guess if Notre Dame loses, that would give Notre Dame 2 losses, and that would give SMU an opportunity to slide in there if they respect the ACC championship game.
Well, I don't know. I got to see who my
Because they would both be 11-1 with, I think SMU's only loss was BYU, right?
Yeah, they're 6-0 in conference. So yeah, if SMU wins out, they're in the conference championship game. I don't know how the tiebreak works for Clemson and Miami. See, right now Miami's third, but they're only third because Miami has only played 6 conference games and Clemson has played 8, which I find weird.
How does
But
that happen?
yeah, I don't know why it's like that. I had to look. Let me look at the schedule real quick.
Is it maybe Clemson's off?
Okay, so Miami got 2 more conference games,
Mm-hmm.
and Clemson has no more conference games. So Clemson's done.
So they're done. Okay,
They're
okay,
done.
okay. And what is
So
their record in conference?
Clemson's 7-1. So I don't know how the ACC does their tie breaks. So I don't
Yeah,
know who would get to the conference championship game. So I don't know how to do the tie breaks. You'd have to talk to an ACC guy.
yeah,
But that's interesting because
that is very interesting.
yeah, if Miami wins out, I don't know how to do it. Hold up. If Miami wins out, well, I guess it wouldn't make a difference. If Miami wins out, I guess they can still stay in there. They can still stay in there and not play in the conference championship game. I'm trying to think of unless a 13 is a conference champion, then they may have an issue or two.
So the way that they do the tiebreaker is a head-to-head competition between teams, but they haven't played each other, right?
Yeah, they hadn't played each other.
Okay,
What
so
about
then the
like
next
opponents?
thing is winning percentage versus common opponents.
Okay, so
Have they
I'm not
both
going.
played Georgia Tech?
Clemson has not played Georgia Tech.
Has Clemson played? Well, then Miami's going to get in then because that's the only team that Miami has lost to.
Yeah, but Clemson lost to Louisville, and Clemson
And
I think
Miami beat them.
Miami beat Louisville. So there you go. So that may
There
save Miami there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they went out, then it will be them and SMU.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet Clemson hates the fact that they have that Georgia game on their schedule.
I think it helped them though.
They scored 3 points.
Yeah, but it's Georgia.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. And I'm gonna be honest. Oh, you know what else is actually interesting? I just looked at Clemson's schedule. They have to play South Carolina the last game of the season. I don't know if they're going to beat South Carolina.
That's the game. That's the game.
I don't know if they're going to beat them.
I don't either.
Yeah.
That's a game.
Yeah.
That is a game. Yeah.
So I just looked at everybody's schedule. I like SMU's chances of going undefeated as opposed to because I don't like that South Carolina. I don't like it.
That
Keep
is a
me away
game.
from that. So one team I wouldn't want to play right now in the SEC is South Carolina.
Yeah.
And then because SMU has Virginia and California. So anyways.
I know we don't want to touch it, but I'll say this. If CU could have had this record and Oklahoma State and Kansas State and Utah were good, they would have been in an easier position to make the playoffs. CU probably could have got in if those 3 teams was good and not have to win the conference.
Right, because you would have beaten them off strength of schedule.
There you go.
Yeah.
That killed
Because
them, man.
I did you know that Oklahoma State hasn't won a single
Not one.
conference game?
They quit. They didn't quit. They have literally quit playing football. Yeah,
So we have CU playing. Okay, so they play a 3-4 Kansas team in the conference. Overall schedule overall 4-6. You know what? That is why they put BYU at 12.
that's why they put BYU at 12.
I didn't. Okay, yeah, because they
Yep.
lost it. How do you lose to Kansas?
Yep. That's why. That's why. Yep.
That's what I was telling everybody. I'm like, stop cheering for Kansas, cheer for
Yep.
BYU. Like, you don't
That's
want this
what
to
happened.
happen. Yeah, the refs gifted BYU the win over Utah. How dare you then come back and cheer against BYU? Cheer
Mhm.
for them. Go BYU, whatever they are. Like, okay,
Right.
I did not know. I thought Kansas was no. I did not know Oklahoma State had won a single game in the conference. I did not
Mhm.
know that. That is
Right.
not great.
Right. I mean, it's just bad. I mean, it's just bad. Think about it.
And then
because I asked
Kansas
somebody.
State keeps losing. Freaking Kansas State keeps losing.
Yep,
Like,
they keep. Yeah, they
stop.
7-3. Right. I asked somebody on the show. I was like, I'll use somebody else. I'm not gonna use CU. I hadn't looked at it though. Like, you look at the schedule. You look at Arizona State. You say, What's Arizona State best win? They beat. I guess it would be Kansas State. 7-3. They beat UCF trash. Oklahoma State, you just mentioned that. Cincinnati, do they even have a winning record? Nope, 5-5. Utah, Utah, 4-6. Kansas, losing record. Texas Tech, 6-4. Texas State, Mississippi State, and Wyoming. It's just you don't have any good wins. It's how bad can you be? How bad can you be?
That's
That
really
is
bad.
crazy, man. That's insane. That's
That's really
insane.
bad.
Yeah, that's pretty damn bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So the committee, but the committee is telling you that they got the BYU lost one football game and they're scraping into the playoffs.
Can I just address this because I think that we need to understand how this works. If you lose to a team, you want that team to continue to win.
Yeah, you do.
You
Yep,
you
you do.
they are you actually are
Yeah,
they're not ops actually. They are
right,
actually your best friend.
right. Because you want it to be a good loss.
Let me use a great example here that everybody will understand. The University of Texas losing to Georgia is a great loss.
Right.
It's great. And every game since, I have been cheering for Georgia to win. Now, if they lose to a ranked team, it's cool too, because they're ranked. You want your team. That's why I keep telling Colorado fans, stop cheering against Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Cheer for Nebraska, because Nebraska also beat you.
Mm-hmm.
You need these teams to continue to win because it
Yeah.
makes your strength of schedule better. And you're right.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the NFL. The NFL is different. I wouldn't be saying this if I was going.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter in the NFL.
It doesn't matter in the
Yeah, it
NFL.
don't matter
Because in the
Yeah.
NFL, the rules aren't the same. In the NFL, you go based on your record. They don't have a committee. They don't have a computer. So when you have inputs coming in and the inputs are telling you you lost to this team and this team sucks. Oh, and the team that you lost to also keeps losing because they suck. It drags you down with you. It's like a boat. If you keep poking holes in the boat, it's going to sink.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
So
Texas.
they're not your losses. The people you lose to in college football are not your ops. The people you lose in college football are now your friends, and you now cheer for them every single game going forward. You're like, go team, go.
Yeah, 100%. You're 100% right. And let me tell you what hurt Texas. Let me tell you what's hurt, because what's going to happen is if they get beat by Texas A&M, which I don't think is going to happen, See, what killed you all is Michigan.
Exactly.
If Michigan had
Exactly.
if Michigan had just been like a 9-win team, and y'all lost to Texas A&M, no one would question.
Nobody would care. Let me give you
No
another
one would
one.
question it. That
Oklahoma.
it's not a question.
Oklahoma. Like if y'all could have won 8 games with that hard schedule, people would have been like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, maybe they beat a decent team. And that's why I tell people, you can't do anything about the teams your team plays. You can't do anything about that. The schedule's a schedule. You just have to hope that you win.
Yeah.
But when you lose, you have to change and you have to cheer for the teams you lost to. You just have to. You just have to. And
Yeah.
I think, okay, they said they understood what I'm saying now. And that's what I keep telling people, like these next couple of weeks, depending on who you are, you want certain things to happen. You just want certain things to happen. Yeah. And that's just what it is. Like, and I get it. It's confusing and we never talk about it, but that's why I tell people, pay attention to what the committee is telling you. They're telling you everything you need to know. Where was BYU last week?
Yeah.
They lost 1 game to a team they think sucks. And because of that, they're now at 12.
Yeah. And what's crazy about it, and I get it, right? Because most of the time, a lot of people don't really pay attention to this stuff because it's usually the same 4 every year and their team don't have a shot. Fair. So now when they see the rankings, they like, oh my God, why are they working out this? Why are they just automatically? It don't work like that. It absolutely don't work like that. So, and you know what I'm saying? And honestly, how it works and how they derive these particular type of here? BYU is 6 in rankings, third seed.
Okay, so they went from 6 to 12.
Yeah. So and that's the deal. But how the committee looks at it is what generates the conversation throughout the season. Maybe that's why people don't understand where we be coming from. You know what I mean? I'm like, you cannot. That's like, bro, it don't work like that. Mm-hmm. That's bad. It don't. But yeah, I mean, I just think that's a perfect example. Texas, Michigan. Texas is y'all got. If I was a Texas fan, I'd be extremely upset with Michigan.
Right? They dropped the ball.
Yeah, they dropped the ball.
And that's the thing. And I always Texas did everything right. Right? Like you schedule a non-conference team, a team that's good, a good program, a good this, a good this, a good this, a good this. You did all the things. They just end up not being very good.
So. Yep, they screwed you. They screwed you.
So there's nothing you can do about it. You know, and that's so anyways, I always tell people, I'm like, because I feel like I make videos and people are like, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. And I always tell people, I am not an alarmist. I don't raise the alarm bell just to raise the alarm bell. When I say in a video, this has to happen, I actually mean it because it has to happen. Anyways, and I get it. There's new people watching football. There's new people trying to understand. People think viewership and ratings means something. People think it doesn't mean anything if they don't think your team is good because they don't care. You want to know why? We saw that already. It happened with Notre Dame. It happened with TCU. Like we've seen that play. We don't want to see it again. And we're all frustrated.
Exactly. So, as a matter of fact, I mean, Boise is the opposite of Texas, right? So Boise is riding Oregon's wave. It was a good loss.
Great loss.
Oregon's number 1 in the country, and they are riding that wave.
Yep. And they are and what was it? 3 points?
3 points. That's what it is.
It's a great loss. And that's what people are like, yeah, that's what everyone's like, yeah, but Texas lost to Georgia. Yeah, we did. That's a great loss.
Yeah, it's a great loss. Exactly. Yeah.
So anyways, like I'll get off the soapbox, but I just want us to realize what's happening and why it's happening and what they're looking at. And good teams, you can't lose to a bad team. You just can't. And not only do you have to beat a bad team, you have to make it so nobody ever thought you were going to lose to this bad team. Mm-hmm. It's not just about the win. You have to make it, your team has to look good. You have to look balanced. You have to look consistent. That's what they want to see. They want to see good football. The commissioner said it. We watch these games.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, you sure right. You sure right. I mean, you sure right. You're 100% right.
Yeah. When he said they watch the games, I was like, oh no. I don't like like again, I'm
He
a mess.
lying. They don't watch it like that.
I know. But my point in saying that is I look at this two different ways because obviously I have Texas who's on a completely different, it's different. And then I have Colorado, although somebody tried to tell me that Texas and Colorado are the same right now, but we'll leave that where it's at. So I'm just telling you what I was told. I'm just telling you what I was told. So exactly that. That's exactly. And that's what I'm saying. So it's like different. It's different. And so for different things. So so this is a good question. What if a good bad team is having a bad season, i.e. Oklahoma State? Michigan, they're dragging down people who play them because they're adding no value. Everybody you play should add value.
Mm-hmm.
If they have more negative to bring to you than good, they're in the way.
Yeah. You're right.
So anyways,
you're right.
We will end this so I can go watch the Steelers either play a good game, frustrate me, or all the in between, because that's usually what I get. I want to say this, and then I'll turn over to you because you will end on you. If Michigan played Colorado, Michigan would beat the shit out of Colorado. So
you got we ain't bringing that back up.
Your turn.
Oh my God! Why did we bring that back up? I'm not gonna touch that, but so I will say this since you mentioned that. Hey, shout out Coach Prime. Shout out Colorado. They are having a great season this year. They are doing
100%.
exceptionally well. So shout out to them, and I think we all are extremely happy for them.
Yeah.
So, but
you know what's great about it too is for those of us that have pockets of people in our life not in public spaces that we get to like text behind the scenes. The amount of trash we get to talk to these people is great. Family that is like, it's never gonna be anything, and now I'm like, hey, just checking in, seeing how you're feeling today. How was your day? So yeah, and you know what, you're right. Shout out to Colorado for showing up for the moment and doing everything that they needed to do.
Yeah.
Right. And shout out to them. Now, I'm a hard critic and I'll leave it at that, but shout out to them for at least figuring out that some of the things that they need to do and they're doing it. And
yeah, well, I got a phone call. I told them. They called me. They finally said, we're going to do what you tell us to do. I told them, I said, finally. But I will say I am the type of guy, though. I am the type of guy. If I got a niece, nephew, kid, right, and they got a C in the class, and I've been telling them to study, and then all of a sudden they study, and then they get an A in the class, and they come back to me and say, hey, I got an A. I'm the type of guy to say, well, if you had done it the first time, you would have had an A last time. That type of guy. I'm just here to tell you.
I am going to clap for you that moment and that day that you tell me, and then tomorrow I'm going to let you know you should have been doing that all along.
I am that type of guy. I ain't even gonna lie. I am that type of guy. They be like, damn, you can't give him no credit. I'm like, well, you should have been doing it. I'm just saying, all right.
I think my dad used to always say, you don't get credit for waking up, brushing your teeth, and getting ready for the day. I expect you to do that. You're supposed to do that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. It's like when we were kids, like on Saturdays, he's like, I expect you to get up, wash your face, and brush your teeth. Like, you have to do that. So it's kind of like that. But
yeah, your dad are good people, bro. Good people. I need to holler at him though. We gotta see if we can fix some stuff. But yeah, he good people. He good people, man. He good. Yeah, I don't give you credit for graduating from high school, man. I don't. Bro, I just graduated from high school. Okay, you're supposed to.
Would you give somebody credit for getting an associate's degree?
I'm not gonna be a total butthole. Yeah, I'll give you some credit for that.
Yeah, no, I would too. Okay, no,
I give credit for any post. What do you call it? K-12, anything out there, military, associate, anything. Yeah, anything accomplished post. Yeah, I give you credit for that. But I ain't giving you credit for graduating from high school. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm not
No,
doing
there's a couple of people though I've given credit for graduating high school because I'm like, I didn't think you was gonna make it, girls.
no, I don't do credit for
Listen,
that.
there's
I don't do it. I
yeah.
don't do it, man.
No, but
do it.
I understand what you're saying. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
So
I don't do it.
yeah, it is what it is. And listen, at the end of the day, anytime anyone is successful doing something different, it's going to open up the door for endless possibilities. That I will always support. So anytime anybody can come in, do something different, do something and change the way things are happening, sign me up. I love it.
Yeah.
Sign me up. So anyways, anything else? You are gonna have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll end on you. I'll hit the end stream as soon as you give me your last whatever.
Oh, Thanksgiving out of town. I don't know how happy it's gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna be, but yeah, I'm going. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we will see you all not next week. I might do a live by myself next week and do it. What did I say I was going to do earlier? Oh gosh, what did he just say? Then I just threw the driver. Okay. Which one do you want, Law? Which one do you want? Tell me which one you want in the chat. So, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I'll figure something out. Wait, what did this person say about school?
I don't know.
Are they mad
I'll
at
try
you?
to figure it out. So wait.
So what you saying, Ra? I don't have to finish high school. Damn, what should I do with this piece of paper? No, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. Nope, you missed it. Do your dance for him. He missed it.
Yeah, I didn't say that at all.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with the one. I'm gonna hit you with the 1-2, and then we're gonna be out of here. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. What is this? Oh, just for you, Law. Just for you, bro. Just for you.
Anyways, we are out of here. We will talk to you all soon. Enjoy football this week. Enjoy football next week. The season is coming to an end. So don't forget to enjoy every single second of it because as soon as it's gone and it sucks. So just enjoy watching all the football you can the next 2 weeks. We'll be back in a few weeks. Okay, bye.